We're live.
We're
right now. Right now.
Oh, we're live. Minute to Win It StreamYard style. So guys, this is the Minute to Win It StreamYard style. We're trying out the new digs through StreamYard. You know, fuck Be Live. You know, we're done with that shit. So it's on to new, better, bigger, and better things.
Greener pastures.
Exactly. We can't just always be doing the same thing. I mean, this is a comic book look. We're freaking 12 years old, damn near. We can't be just thinking, we'll always do the same. No, man, we're switching it up. That's why we got.
On the Be Live note too, Tom, I was nice to their support and I said, you guys are all good human beings. And they're like, well, what about our product? And I was like, oh, do I have a laundry list for you? And I was like, I was like, these are all the things I ran into. And I caught when I was leaving, I was reviewing what they offer and stuff. And I think they upped the guest count. No, you can't see it because of the different layouts that you can choose. It only showed up to 4, but it looks like you can add more, which was interesting. And so I was like, well, too little, too late. I'm over it and I'm happy to be done. And this has been way superior since then. I mean, I don't know about you, but I look hot in 1080, right?
Dude,
everyone in the comments, tell me if that's true. You've noticed an improvement in my hotness.
Dude, you are so hot. 2 T's, okay? Not 1 T.
Yeah.
2 T's on how
1080 hotness.
You are. And me, I'm grosser when I get this clear. So it would be better for me to go back to worse death.
You want to
so
do 720 again?
Bad complexion and
oh my god, here we go.
Dirty shirt or whatever.
You are so dumb.
Whatever we got.
We haven't even opened the show yet. And Derek's weighing in here. Double T, thank you. Oh.
Twin Towers.
That's right. And Tony's checking in with us. Hey, Tony, thank you so much. Wow, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We are a little late tonight. I was yakking after work, and here we are. Tom was super patient with me. We haven't even opened the show yet.
Open it up.
Maybe do that. And also, I just wanted to say, this is not an endorsement of this product, but I am enjoying a tropical beer hug.
Ooh.
IPA, and I love it because of the cans. I think they're cute. And I also have 2 other kinds with me too. So that's the hazy, and then I have the neon beer hug as well. So
that's so fun. You know, I actually have a fun drink myself as well. I got the Liquid Death.
Yeah.
Bury It Alive. It's the berry version of the sparkling one. So,
yes.
Fun as hell. You know,
I think it's funny. Taylor from our Lincoln store drinks those. Taylor, what was it? Amanda and I did the stay hydrated picture where we had all our drinks on the counter, and Taylor in the comments posted her with Liquid Death, and it made me think of you right away. So that's funny.
Hold strong, me and Taylor.
Shout out to the Lincoln store. Shout out to Taylor. Tony says, I am working on packing for this weekend at SuperCon. What? There's a con? Are you serious? I'm just kidding.
SuperCon, the con of the Midwest,
Bro.
The greatest con in You know what, John? Before we get into this, open up
the show. We should definitely
open the show.
All right, here we go. The best drum roll on a glass desk that a guy can muster. Hey, everybody, it's a comic book look. It's your boy, John on Demand, a.k.a. lacking the AKAs lately. So, a.k.a. looking so sharp and educated in these glasses that I wore all day today at work and no headache. So, a.k.a. adulting for the win. Yay. And, of course, you guys, joined by co-CEO Tom Devine. There can only be one, the Midwest Highlander. We are Comic Book Look, proudly sponsored by Rainbow Comics. So, of course, for the Sioux Fallsians, 42nd and Minnesota Avenue, stop on by and say howdy to your boy and the squad. If you're in Lincoln, stop by our store down there and say hi to Taylor and the team. Happy to help you out with those comic book needs. But, Tom, we got to talk about, first of all, that chair you're sitting in intense. And I'm seeing some cityscape on the horizon. So fill us in. Where are you?
I'm in Dallas. It's not as cool. This isn't that greatest place in the world. But, hey, Dallas is pretty fun. I got to stay downtown this time, so I get a view behind me. So, you can see my hotel room. Probably the reflection's better than you can see that. But, it's back there. Dallas. It's there. Texas. Everything's bigger. Me and John were discussing that.
Whoa. But tell them about the comic shop. Tell them about that.
But yeah, I've been to Dallas a few times. I have to come here for work. So I've gone to a lot of the comic shops. I haven't found one comic shop in all of Dallas that is as good as Rainbow. And so, I'm excited to go check out comics, but even though this is the comic book Sabbath, I didn't pick up, and I'm actually going to wait until I get back to Rainbow. Probably
Sabbath. Yeah.
Get my my full stack. But I am going to see if there's any weird local stuff. I picked up like this zine from the Texas movie theater last time I was here, and that was cool. So we'll see if there's something else I can find like that that's like more Texas flavored. So
yeah. Well, awesome, man. Well, I'm glad that the work travels are going well. And on the SuperCon front, we should chop it up about that really quick, just to give a quick plug. In the Sioux Falls area, excuse me, we have SuperCon coming up this weekend at the Sioux Falls Convention Center. So the convention is running Friday, the 30th of September through Sunday, October 2nd. On the Rainbow Comics note, we will be tabling there. Miss Amanda is going to be leading the charge on that with some assistance from Casey on Saturday. So you might see him in the booth, or you might see me get tagged in so Amanda can do a quick little jaunt around. We want her to enjoy the show as well. So we'll kind of just tag team it and rock it out. You'll see me running around, paneling, stuff like that. It'll be fun. So, but lots to do, lots to see. Any questions, just check out supercon.com or message me, and happy to help. So.
Yeah, definitely. I am not going to be there. Clearly, I'm in Dallas, unfortunately, but I work with the video game room, and so my boys, Trav and Matt, they're holding it down. Be sure to go check out the video game room. They're running tons of tournaments. We got a bunch of other cool people helping with us, Alec, and it just the whole crew. Riley. I mean, we have a really, really good, cool group of people. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tons of people are coming. Even though I'm not there, everybody knows that I make the jankiest trophies in the world for video game awards. And guess what? This year's no different. I made them. Matt and Trav picked them up. They'll be jankier than ever. And it's just, those classic broken controllers on a piece of board, screwed directly through the middle and spray painted. This year, not gold. Platinum.
Whoa.
These are platinum trophies. So you got to check that out. Get into the video game room. I'm going to miss all you guys. If you are going to SuperCon, just know that I miss you. I love you. And I wish I was there.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome, man. I see that Tony here is lifting up, also appearing on Saturday. Doc Ock will be appearing. So it sounds like someone might have a little righteous cosplay up their sleeve. So kudos to that, Tony. Tony's been kind and has been sending me peeks at it as he's been building it, and mad kudos and shout out to anyone that's cosplaying. There is so much thought and creativity and time and dedication to a build, and so something as ambitious as Doc Ock, where you have things external to you too, I get it, and I think it's really badass. So hats off to everyone, and that's one of the things I'm looking forward to, is just going around and asking, hey, can I take a picture with you, because your costume's awesome and you killed it. And that's one of my favorite souvenirs from the con, is just celebrating what I see, So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
It's going to be sick. So everybody make it to SuperCon if you can.
Yeah. Also, what else? We talked about StreamYard already, so we were talking about that at the start of the show for everyone that's just joining. We are loving the new platform. This is actually Tom's first time on the new platform, and so far we're just looking crisp AF, and very happy with that. And we're just excited about the future, you guys. I mean, it's a step in the right direction. It just allows us to connect with more people simultaneously. So we're gonna have some bomb monster shows coming up. Having all of Wednesday comics at once, never could have done that before. And we're so excited because they're all in separate places now. So it's just like, comic book bears, what? Boom. So we're hoping that we can line up some Infinity Stones and make some cool stuff happen this upcoming year. So
can't wait.
Yeah. Well, Tom, anything else going on your side of the world for comics, or anything that recent happenings that you wanted to lift up?
Not really, but I'll tell you what, I've been reading comics. That hasn't changed. And so I'm excited to review comics today too. So I'm going to be talking about Ice Cream Man, number 32. We get this really cool cover, that based on the classic illustration of the, Infinity, the trippy stairs. And this is a great book, so I'm really excited about that. Other than that, John, I don't really have anything else. So, I'm ready to get into the reviews, and if you are, and if not, let me know what's going on in your mind.
Tom, I could talk forever, but we are a comic book look, and so we do need to look at some books. And also, you guys, just for those that maybe are just tuning in or whatever, we aren't going to be going through what we pull each week. At this time, we really just wanted to focus on what we're reading and what we thought of it, because that's what we're doing, is looking at comic books, which means we're reading them. So, well, in most cases, sometimes they don't have words, and then in that case, we're looking at them. But yes, we are going to do just a pair of reviews tonight and keep it easy, so that way Tom can get some REST and get ready for the day tomorrow. And likewise, I'll be saving the world at Rainbow tomorrow too. So, Tom, I'm going to let you take it.
Sure. So I'm excited about this. As a lot of you who watch this know, I love Ice Cream Man. I think I hopped on about issue 16 or 17. So I felt like I was behind. And I just picked up an issue at random because somebody told me that it was not serialized, that these are one shots. And I didn't know that. I would have been picking it up from the beginning if I was. I thought it was just some dumb horror book. Well, it turns out it is a horror book, but it's not dumb in the least bit. It's amazing. I hopped on about issue 7. I thought it was just some dumb horror book. I can hear my own voice. I hopped on.
Tom, the video just popped out of nowhere on my Facebook.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I was just what is going on right now?
I felt like this guy. I was standing right here, and then I was hearing you over here, and then I was like, is that me right there? And then I was like, no, I'm right here.
Yeah. Sorry about that, you guys. That's on me. My speakers.
No, it's okay. I was like, anyway, so Ice Cream Man, I read it on Hoopla, our comic book look, our favorite app of if you need to catch up real quick on something you just want to catch that story, don't need to put it in the collection, you just check out Hoopla through your library, And so burned through them, loved it, ended up buying the graphic novels just so I had those issues, and then have been ever since. And I've just been loving it more and more. Love the side story, haha. And so that's kind of my back my back history with Ice Cream Man. And now I'm to the point that if this William Maxwell and the Prince, let's find these guys so I can say it correctly. W. Maxwell Prince and Martin Morazzo. If they are making something, I will just buy the book now. And it seems that they work in tandem. And W. Maxwell Prince, the writer, he has even said that when he thinks of a comic book now, he's written and drawn so many comic books with Martin Morazzo that he just thinks about it in this style. And so the style is a very specific style on how it's drawn. All the faces kind of look in the, it's all very, very thin lines, no shading at all done with the coloring. And this style is how the guy thinks of comic books. But I just love this so much. And so getting into that, one of the things I really love about this, it's an image book, and it never has any ads. It takes advantage from cover to cover. We don't even have anything for any other books or anything like that. It really becomes its own thing. And I really appreciate that as being a piece of art. And then what's really cool is not really cool, because I forgot to tell you, this is a horror book that's sadly depressing. Every single issue is somehow does something to you in a comic book way that you didn't really know could happen. I don't know. It's truly magical usually. So you open the page and then you have this ad: stop using and start living. And it is an ad for a recovery place. And it's, a real picture of a guy drinking, and then it goes through some different recovery, but then it gets really dark, right away. It talks about different steps to sobriety. One of them is just relapsing, because it says everybody relapse. Try to make amends for all the good that it will do. And just, it kind of puts this different way on rehabilitation. So now we're already dealing with a very, very specific, serious subject, substance abuse and alcohol abuse. And it gets into drug abuse and every other kind of addiction that people have. And so now we're dealing with a real subject, and a subject that most people can relate to because they can see it in themselves or they can see it in people around them. The addictive personalities or how easy it is to get addicted to something. As luckily me and John addictions is comic books, much better than heroin and cocaine.
Yeah.
But then we start getting the story. We get the story of this man as he is going to start his 24-day journey through rehab. And he has a wife and kid. And it kind of goes through his mindset where at times he says he's worthless. There's no reason I should never be a dad. I'm just going to keep on using. I'll never make it through. And it goes through all these different dark things. And the whole time he has this shadow, and his shadow comes into his room and he's always tempting him and he's always trying to get him to do drugs. And this one, you can see he has a little bag of Coke right there. And this shadow gives him the Coke. And he's in this recovery, trying to figure it out, trying to go to group, hating every part of it, trying to do this. And then this shadow thing gives him Coke. He later learns that the shadow was just himself and he smuggled in Coke through what his means are. And this is his way to explain it. But it goes through how his wife just keeps on holding, allowing him the support and not saying, I'm going to leave you, and saying you have a daughter, you can get through this when he doesn't feel like he can get through this. And it's about how his interactions with, the world, the other people in his recovery, where it goes all the way through how he feels like he isn't a real person. And they show his kid Jenny's drawing him as a superhero and you can do it, Dad, but he feels like a fraud. And then they show that in this panel where he feels like this is what he's not even a real person. Sometimes this is how he feels. And then it goes all the way through where he makes it through recovery. But then the whole joke throughout the whole time is 95% of people that get out of recovery end up, using again, and how that is a bleak, sad reality. And it takes that whole thing, turns it on his head, makes it entertaining to read, makes it funny and depressing, all at this, and almost like hopeful, all in this same comic book. I was just really blown away. I bought a whole bunch of different indie comic books this week that I wanted to talk about. And I just finished the new Fun Girl graphic novel as well. And I wanted to talk about that as well. So I will be talking about that in a later episode. But then I read this issue and I was like, dude, I just have to talk about it because I was so excited. It just was so damn good. Yeah. And man.
Was that? Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say full 12 pack, Ice Cream Man number 32.
Wow. Holy wow, that must have knocked your socks off.
Jeez, it did, dude. I'm telling you, it did. Knock my socks off.
Now, question. For the Fun Girl, is that the cover where it was like the hologram part of her head kind of thing? Like,
I have that, of course, and I've read that, and that's awesome. But this is the big graphic novel. I finally finished the entire thing. That a lot of it was like already on Instagram and stuff. Okay. But I finally read the whole thing. But how having a Fun Girl floppy, how cool was that, John?
Yeah, because they did a free comic book day, one of her, right?
Oh yeah.
Where I checked that out, I remember, and I was like, dude, who is this? I love this. Dude. It was so funny. Yeah, it was a funny thing.
So funny. It's the funniest comic book coming
out. But like dark funny? I don't know. It was spicy.
She works at in this or in the graphic novel, she works at a where do you go when you die? I forgot, a morgue. She works at a morgue. Yeah. And so it gets real dark. I mean, there's all messed up. She's doing stuff to bodies. This is man. I love Fun Girl.
Oh heavens. Hey, we're getting rained with comments here, so I gotta take just a second to acknowledge some folks. Aaron Evans is a good long friend of the show, and Aaron is coming by tomorrow to Rainbow, so I'm so excited to get to see him in person again. I just got to see him earlier this month when we were up there for Renfest, and I got to go to Comic Book College. But if you guys ever have a chance and you're in the Twin Cities, Comic Book College has moved to a new location, and it is lovely, and they have a ton of stock and an awesome team to help you out with finding what you need. So definitely recommend checking that out, and say hi to Aaron if he is working when you stop there. Pocahontas is in the building. Pocahontas is another rock star here in the 605. So for all of your Godzilla and collectible needs, Pocahontas is attending several conventions around the country and does a beautiful job capturing those moments and has really just taken off on YouTube. And we just applaud his success. And thank you for tuning in and checking us out. It's always good to see you. And we'll have to have you on again sometime. Talk about Godzilla stuff.
Yeah.
Shelby's checking in with us. Hey, y'all. Hey, Shelby. Hopefully you're having a good evening and you're coming out to SuperCon this weekend. And finally, Dan Robertson is checking in. Hey, Johnny 5, bro. That's right. Johnny 5 is in the building. So John on Demand on a comic book. Look, Johnny 5 at Rainbow. I have different AKAs. You know the drill. Johnny 5 is alive. That's right. So thank you guys all. Holy smokes. That was so cool just to see all those comments coming in. So thank you. I'm a VIP. Yes, you are. Yes, ma'am. So, Tom, a full 12-pack when there was only a 6-pack on the shelf. That's quite generous.
Yeah, man. And there has been some other good issues of Ice Cream Man lately, and I usually do talk about them. But this one was just just kind of hit the thing. And they also have a new book that they are re-releasing that they put out through IDW and has a new name. So if you kind of like Ice Cream Man or you kind of like what I was talking about there, follow, William Maxwell Prince and Martin Morazzo, and they will, be able to share all the work that they're doing.
Dan saying, I'll see you this weekend, buddy. That's right. SuperCon, baby. We're going to 605 it up. We're going to do maximum coverage, have some fun. I'll probably get some footage or do a live or something. So if you're not tuned into Rainbow Comics on Facebook, follow, get familiar. Pocahontas through YouTube. Missed the JDF meet and greet. I'll be at SuperCon. Dude, it was so freaking cool. And it's something that we didn't talk about. We didn't really talk about on the show, but Jason David Frank, the original Green Power Ranger, was at Rainbow Comics on September 11th. So just earlier this month. So that was freaking awesome. There's a video of him signing my Green Ranger shirt that Joe from Average Joe's Gaming got me. So shout out to Average Joe. And it was just so cool to get to host the event and get to meet him and work with him and execute a successful event. And we had over 250 to 275 unique individuals show up, over 100 groups, and it was like families and stuff. One was like a group of like 12 people or something. So the turnout was real. Sioux Falls, for all of you that did show up, thank you. Because when he comes back to South Dakota, he said he's not even going to look at the other shops. He's coming straight to Rainbow because of the turnout, the experience that he had. And that's all thanks to you guys. It was a great event. God, we should have talked about this sooner, Tom. But it was a wonderful event, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. So thank you guys all for making it special. That was humbling. That was freaking humbling. So, yeah, it's Tom. It's not, because we've met people, at cons and stuff. But like with JDF, it was so special to me because I'm like, I'm in charge of this event, and so it's humbling. Just let me walk you through our back room to the main floor. So we're going through the back room together, and I'm just like, this is crazy. I used to watch you on TV. What's going on? But I can't fanboy. I was running the event. Anyways, I digress.
Dude, I loved it, and I haven't followed him for a while, so I just didn't really know. And then I saw the pictures and stuff like that. Dude, he looks like a total badass now. Like he's like got sick ass gold glasses,
bro,
big sweet jewelry. Like, did he roll up in like a badass Indian motorcycle or something? Because he just looks so cool. It looks like he is like part of Jason Momoa's just like everyday crew. They're just like hanging out, being buff as hell, being a bunch of hunks. Just God.
Yeah.
What a stud. That dude is just so cool looking.
You know what's really special about him though? He talked to the staff of Rainbow afterwards. So we locked the doors and he stayed with us for another 20 to 30 minutes, signing stuff for us. And then he talked to us as a group. And I made the comment like, if any of your Ranger peers ever want to consider us, let us know. We'll do our best, make it super special. Because I did green popcorn. I did welcome baskets with his favorite treats in it, and everything. And he loved it. The tickets, we laminated with packing tape, and had the Dragon Zord on the back, and he was signing those for people, and he was like, who did these? And I'm like, but he loved it. He was like, no one else puts effort into this stuff. And I was like, I'm extra AF. And that's what I told him. I said, I'm extra AF. I'm sorry. And I just said, in the future, keep us in mind. We would love to have you again. Sioux Falls loved you. And you would do quite well. And I mentioned SuperCon too to him.
Yeah.
So, but a big part of that is not me or Team Rainbow. We did awesome. And I had some customer volunteers that crushed it. But the main thing for him was interacting with the guest, and everyone was super chill and awesome. And so that is a hats off to all of you out there who attended the event. Tony was there. I saw Tony with his kiddo. That was a lot of fun. And it's fun to see people take the pictures with them and stuff, and just get to see that experience happen. It makes me happy. So
hell yeah, man.
That's good.
So cool.
Yeah. Tom, I gotta show you this, by the way. He signed this for me. So this was one of the prints, and this is the Green Ranger schooling the Justice League and the Avengers. I was like, I gotta have this one. Like, it was a choice of some pretty bomb ones, and I was like, I need this.
Where did he have that with him?
Yeah.
Oh, that is great.
Isn't that great? I was like, yes, I need this. So, but yeah, I got a ton of book signs by him. So I have the foils and everything, and yeah. So it was crazy, dude. It was this one was kind of cool.
Yeah.
This one, White Ranger, and then the Dragon Zord, of course.
Dude.
And then my Funkos, I had the Dragon Zord Funko that was in the basement. I was like, dude. So yeah, it was fun. But yeah.
I love it.
Completely derailed this conversation. Holy crap. I can't even, what's funny though, is my review coming up is also green and tailed. But circling back on that, hats off to the guest. It from an event standpoint, it went so well. And when you're dealing with that big of a public turnout, they were an hour late, and we only had a couple of angry elves, and everybody else was super chill. Like, there was nothing that approached him directly, and that's all I could ask for. Like, we took care of everything on the side. And that's just a hats off to you guys. So thank you guys for making him think South Dakota. And for we're really excited about the future with that. If he ever does it again, we will completely embrace it and say yes, absolutely.
Awesome, man. Yeah, so cool. I'm so glad that was a successful event.
Yeah. Pocahontas weighing in saying, I got a Dragon Zord that needs a signature on it. Pocahontas, of course you do. I've seen your beautiful glass cases. I'm not an idiot. Tom and I have seen your videos with your collection crawls and everything else. P.S. We need to hang out soon, for real. Like, I just want to come over to your place and just bask in your awesome displays of Transformers and other collectibles, because you are a boss, mister. Settle down. Remember when Pocahontas used to go by Everyday Joe? I think is what he called himself. Pocahontas, you are a gold medalist, my friend.
Yeah.
Tony's weighing in. I need to bring one of him with the Dragon Zord to have him sign for my son next time. Yeah. Tony, for you and for everyone else that had the kiddos with, it was so cool just to watch that experience happen. It was so fun. So I absolutely loved that, and he was just so good with the kiddos. So yep. But let's focus. We're gonna rein it back in.
Let's rein it back in. I want to hear about these books that you've read, Johnny.
And this is a rare occurrence, me reading books. What? I just buy them to buy them. We'll jump in here. One series that I kind of powered through, so this is a perk of being 2 months behind, is now I can Netflix some of these comic series and read 3 to 4 issues at a time now and be like, oh, that's what's going on. And I'm okay with it. So tonight I wanted to talk about your girl, Pamela Isley from Arkham Asylum. Poison Ivy has her own series. Shout out to this A cover with the Pride little emblem on there. Of course, I gravitated towards that. That's a lie. I actually have every single A cover I could get my mitts on. You know what?
That's a lie.
We're gonna do.
I got every cover.
Nope, we're doing this. We got the B cover, but then I was at Heroes Con. Remember that trip? Heroes Con? Yep.
Exclusive Heroes Con cover?
Yep. Yep. So that happened. Okay, so I love Poison Ivy, and I'm not a showboat normally, but I love Poison Ivy, and so when I see a beautiful cover, I'm gonna get it. I don't even care about the price tag. So that's how I operated on that trip, and that's what you need to do at cons. Sometimes is say, screw it, pull the trigger. It's fine.
Yeah, and you're excited to have it afterwards, and
Yeah.
we like to see it. I like to see what they did for all those different covers. It's always fun. You know, sometimes on Wednesday you see all these covers on the wall and then I never see them again, right?
Yeah.
All together. So it's always kind of fun to see them.
Yeah. Yeah. So hands I don't even want to tell you guys how many covers of this Poison Ivy. Aaron, settle down. Aaron, are you like still like 20 years old? I'm just kidding. Throwing the age card. Aaron, let me know in the comments or PM me or something too. By the way, let me know when I can expect you tomorrow because I'm so excited to get to connect with you at Rainbow and show off our awesome store to you. So I'm so freaking pumped. Let me know. But let's get into the review here. You guys, this series is not all just about covers. This is an interesting story that I freaking adore, and I'm so glad I chose it out of all of these things that I'm collecting. I have 2 short boxes of stuff for new reads that I haven't read yet, and I said I want to do Poison Ivy, so I'm so glad I did. So I just have the A covers, 1, 2, 3, and I had a chance to read them. This book rocks, okay? And so read it, try it out, get your issue number 1. Issue 1 is so dynamic. The creative team I'm actually not as familiar with, but with what's going on in the book, I got to give it G. Willow Wilson is the writer and Marcio Takara is the artist. This is the dream team, Tom.
Sure.
This is like, in my opinion, and this is going to be extreme. This is up there with Capullo and Snyder on Batman.
Hell yeah, dude!
Situation, because I've seen Poison Ivy books where they suck. Yeah. Where it's all based on bust and less about story and character relevance. This shreds it.
Yes.
It makes me think intelligence is the new sexy. And that's what this is, because they are tapping into her as vulnerable. They are tapping into her as brokenhearted. She's going through stuff with Harley. They're tapping into her as her kind of scientist background. Mm-hmm. Which is an amazing angle, and it makes me so happy. And then circling back to the vulnerable, she was Queen Ivy for a minute, like able to take Gotham underground kind of power level kind of thing. She is not doing hot right now, and they are rocking that angle and putting her in a position where things are going to get real coming up. In a nutshell, with issues 1 through 3, she is currently spreading a toxic fungus or fungi across the country. There was one scene at the diner which made me think of Sandman season 1 on Netflix with the diner episode, and I was like, oh, like this is so cool. I love the parallels that are going on in my mind.
Dude, that is so cool. I just want to, because that writer J. Willow Wilson or whatever her name was, whatever. She is a Vertigo writer. I remember her writing at Vertigo back when Neil Gaiman was writing Sandman and stuff. So, she comes from like a background that isn't always superheroes and stuff like that. So that's so cool to see her take on Poison Ivy. Loved it. Yeah. Love it.
Hell yeah. Aaron's marrying me here. Poison Ivy has been a good read. Preach, brother. I didn't know that about the writer. So this is, just so all of the viewers know, this is something that Tom has kind of embedded in me, is the importance of paying attention to what's going on in terms of who's on the 1s and 2s. So for the longest time, and probably a decade, that's fair, I've been reading for the characters. I haven't been following creators like hardly at all. I don't care. I didn't care at the time, except when I was preparing to meet them and have them sign books. And now all of a sudden it's like, I really like this. Who's on this? And it makes me want to find more works by her and go read those.
You'll love them. There's a book called Air that she did that I love. So I think you might want to check that one out too.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed in me as a character. Granted, my knowledge of all the X-Men soap opera crap, second to none.
Exactly.
I reviewed a book with Trevor 2.0, and he was like, "What?" And I was dropping all this truth bombs. It was on Rainbow Live about the New Mutants and stuff. I'm like, "Oh, girl, I got the gossip. I know what's going on here." You know, and it's a big eye opener for me. And there's a lot of people watching this that are going to shake their heads and be like, "Dude, you're a total newbie at comics if you're not paying attention to that." I read for the characters. I've been honest about that since day one.
Yeah.
And there's other people that do it too. But it's something
I think that's okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I feel like I shot myself in the foot in some regards, and that I probably, missed out on a lot of opportunities, even at conventions. When I'm surrounded by all these awesome people like Heroes Con, there were probably a ton of people I should have stopped by and said hi to. And I probably didn't.
You only got some time in the day.
Bruh. Aaron saying, read G. Willow Wilson's Miss Marvel run. It's absolutely delightful. It's cool.
Nice.
And based on what I'm reading so far, yeah, I'm interested. If it's Kamala Khan or if it's Carol Danvers, I don't care. I'd read it. Yeah. So, overall, though, 1 through 3, issue 4, I believe, has come out, but it's in one of my bags somewhere, one of these piles here that I have to file still. I haven't had a chance yet to read that, but I did read all of my A-cover reading copies, and I'm drowning in variants, and I'm so excited about it because they're all beautiful. If I were to give this series a rating so far, I would definitely hand it that full 6 out of 6. I would not go 12 out of 6 like Tom, because there's still room for growth on the story. And I said growth because it's a plant-based book.
Ooh.
Oh. But I went to the full 6-pack for sure. Pamela Isley it's a character that you either nail or you don't. And I've read so many duds and one-shots that just suck. And this is exciting to me, and this is engaging. And it makes me sad to know that, it's probably a limited series. Truly, it could be an ongoing if you did it right. But I also have learned that just because something could be ongoing doesn't mean that it should be too, because the quality starts to dwindle after a while. So I'm learning, Tom. I'm learning, but Dark Avengers is still the best thing ever written. So I'm not learning that much.
And, I can still agree with you because, I liked reading it the last time we read it too. So
maybe we should do it again in another year. Just see what you think then. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, you guys, this is an exciting time right now. I really want to see an adaptation of Poison Ivy on the big screen, or like a DC's miniseries or something on HBO Max or whatever. I feel like she could really shine and do her own thing. But that's just where I'm at.
Too. I mean, she's such a cool character.
Yeah. So that was my books of the week. I know I kind of cheated doing 3 all at once. I'm really liking it though, and if you're not checking it out, definitely hit up your LCS and see what's going on. At Rainbow, we definitely still have a couple of copies of each available, I believe. They're starting to thin out a little bit. It's been pretty popular, but I always lift it up. So
nice. Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Sounds like a good book. Have to check it out.
Dude, heck yeah. Yeah, other than that, I gotta just say quick thank everybody for commenting and engaging with us tonight. I know it's a little bit later than normal. It's my fault. I was yakking at work. Here we are. Tom, thank you for connecting this late. We are so excited about things to come though with the channel, you guys. This new utility StreamYard is just really going to open up some possibilities for the types of shows that we can do and the amount of guests that we can have and make just more engaging, fun content for you. I also have a spooky something on the horizon with my fascination with Marvel horror books, and you'll definitely be seeing Tom kind of peek in on that, and I'm hopefully going to get like a super spooky intro video, so I'm excited. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Can't wait.
It'll be fun. Yeah, so I even have a project name in mind, but I'm not going to say it yet.
Ooh. So. Look forward to that.
It'll be fun. But it will be a Comic Book Look Presents, because the John on Demand personality is copyrighted to Comic Book Look. So. That's how we do it.
Of course.
Also, I just gotta say, shout out to Andy on Fat Dude Digs Flicks for Let's Talk About. I did my segment. Have you done your segment? Did you do yours earlier?
I'm doing mine I'm doing mine at the end of October. That will go in November. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Mine was so much fun. I did this creepy movie called 1 Hour Photo with Robin Williams. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's so dark. Definitely not for kids. The main thing for me that was fun was talking about life. He asked me about, my journey, and we talked about fandoms and stuff. And if you guys aren't subscribed to him, definitely get familiar. Fat Dude Digs Flicks on Facebook. He has his own page. And then Let's Talk About Taco Bout is his segment that we did. So that was cool. Ken and I have both guested on it at this point. So Tom is up. And it's just fun to talk cinema once in a while. And so while it's not comics, it's also fun to kind of dive into other fandoms and, meet people that are passionate about them, just like, we had him on our show. So, yeah.
Exactly.
So shout out to him. And shout out to Titan Comic Pressing, who I interviewed earlier this week on a comic book look. That was fun, too. And we'll definitely have him on again. It sounds like I'll be on his channel coming up to talk further, so I must have done something right. I don't know. But he's a really nice guy down in Omaha, so it's fun to meet our neighbors, too.
Of course.
On the horizon, just so everybody knows, we are going to be interviewing the two co-owners of Starfighter Comics from Sioux City to learn about their story and talk some comics. So that is on the horizon. And we have some other guests, too, lined up. So more to come.
Our future is bright, John. That sounds so awesome.
That's right. Anything else from your side of the world, sir?
Man, I'm going to keep on reading. I can tell you I'm just like full boat, 2 feet deep into small press. Mark Wagner just had totally lit a fire under my ass. And now I just am like, that is all I'm really reading and looking into and doing. So, I'm really excited to search out here in Dallas for that. I've been enjoying a whole bunch of stuff when I've been traveling a bunch for work recently. So as I hit these other places, looking for small press books, looking for zines, looking for the local scene. If you guys know anybody who makes comics on that small scale print level, I would love to talk to them and see their work and things like that. So tag me in their posts or, share that stuff with me, because I am always looking for that. And that's who I would love to go down further in the next little bit here in my comic book journey, is chase down this small press scene that is booming right now in 2022.
Do you want to lift up that convention you went to recently?
Yeah, I went to a Toptic. I mean, that won't be for another year, but I would say as me, John, I've like always loved indie comics, right? I mean, that's like kind of been my thing, is indie comics. But, it's like, I feel like it's a sham, because I wasn't really finding the true indie comics. I was supporting independent publishers, but I feel like now I found like the true independent, these guys that are doing, I always liked when I was before R. Crumb, became this crazy pervert and shit like that. I mean, I loved his work, and I loved the work of, David Mazzucchelli, and I read Astra's Pulp, and I read Mouse, and I tried to read these more independent books, but I didn't really realize there was a scene kind of all baked around that stuff still happening today, with people making their own comics, putting their comics out, printing their own comics, not, finding their own publishers, getting their grassroots, touching on dark subjects that are not going to be talked about or shown at different, more mainstream places, like even in Image. Even though I love Image, that's what I talked about today. I will never not. It's been really fun to see that. So, I'd say that is where my comic book journey has been taking me as of late, Johnny boy.
What about, so you did Spork recently. Is there, just asking on behalf of the man, is there number 2 on the horizon?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. In this one, I'm not doing any, like the first one was kind of like a magazine about Sioux Falls, what I think people should look at, what people should do, shouting out all my friends, getting the information out there, and that was fun. But this one's just gonna be all art and comics. It's only comics I'm drawing. It's all art that I'm drawing. And so yeah, this will be like my first actual comic book that has a comic book story in it. I have a 6-page book or comic that I'm putting together for it. And then I have a whole bunch of sketchbook drawings and dumb drawings. I've been working a lot on just, drawing and working on inking and the whole process, starting from trying to put it together a layout to, ink it or pencil it myself, to ink it myself, to copy it, to fix it, to run it through Photoshop, the whole damn fucking thing. And it's been really fun to do. I've always felt like I've loved comics for so much, but I always felt like I don't really have what it takes probably to make a comic book, even though I've always tried to be artistic and I've drawn my entire life. I'm not on the same level as a, Greg Capullo or Jim Lee or, these guys that are just so goddamn good. The books that me and John read, me and John read the best comics in the world, and these are the best illustrators in the world. And I'm not on par with that, but I can still find hella enjoyment from books that are written or drawn by Matt Kent, which I know he's a bad illustrator, and, books drawn by Jeff Lemire, just because Jeff Lemire is such a good writer, his art comes through, even though his art is rudimentary and, is very simple. So I've kind of, tried to take that and try to make my own comics. So yeah, Spork 2 will be coming out. I'm hoping mid-October sometime. I'll try to get a lot more copies too. And
do I still get to do a top 5 list?
Please. Sam Lens are, because I've asked you, I've asked Seth Benson, and I've asked Sam Lens to do a thing. I've actually asked my other friend, Brandon Rook, to do a drawing as well. Sam turned in his drawing this week. So Sam is ahead of you guys. Thank you, Sam Lens. And making sure you guys are checking. Yeah, our friend Sam, he writes the Ghoulfields webcomic. So he's a comic artist in his own right, of course. And, so definitely be reading his comics.
Was it hashtag bring back Backlot 605? That's what I'm hearing.
That's what I think it is.
Revive, Frankenstein it, figure it out. I'm going to see Casey this weekend for sure. And if I see those other two, we're taking a selfie. Like, get it together, you guys. It's not over. Come on. Like, you guys have such a cool legacy. I mean, that's like telling Tom and I to stop keeping it comics. Are you kidding me? We got to get matching tats or something, Tom. Let's do it. Let's go.
Hey, those guys are all moving. Yeah, hey, there you go. Those guys are moving to cool things, though. Sam, he's doing a daily comic. He's drawing and writing a comic all the time. I follow him on Patreon. He's crushing it. Yeah. Casey's starting to try to make his own movies now. Yeah. So he's gone from reviewing and talking about movies and wanting to build a scene and wishing more people were making movies in South Dakota to just being like, fuck it, I'm going to make a movie in South Dakota. Right. So, shout out Casey.
So, I don't know, man. We got to get them back together. We're going to do a mandatory movie review show and bring them on. Like, oh, wow. We're going to do it. We're not even going to tell them that the other people are going to be on.
There we go.
That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to be like, boom, boom, boom. Oh, Backlot 605. What? What are y'all doing here? What? Yeah.
That would be so funny.
Yeah. It's fun.
Oh, that made me so happy.
On the indie comic front, Tom, you'll be mortified and pleased to know that I might be looping myself into a project on the horizon. More to come on that.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So it all started a conversation over breakfast. Yeah. Ooh. So more to come on all that. But I will work on my top 5 list. We'll see what we can. It'll be fine. Spork 2 will happen, and I will do my best to be a part of it. I just have to figure out what I'm top 5ing. But I got you. I have some thoughts.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, cool. Well, we'll go ahead and shut it down. Tom's got a lot of work coming up, you guys, tomorrow, and I am going to Original Pancake House in the morning before work, so we got to figure that out. But looking forward to another awesome week in comics and everything else. We have the follow-up sequel to Black Panther on the horizon coming up, so we're very excited about that. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming up for Rainbow Comics. A lot of cool stuff coming up for Tom and I. And we're just going to keep pushing the ticket like we always do. So thank you guys for hanging with us. The other thing that we didn't really talk about, Tom, was breaking the 11-year accomplishment. The 11
I know. It was like back. I mean, we're months past it, right? I mean, when did it happen?
I know. We just never really talked about it. So I just wanted to say, thank you for all of you and for you, Tom, for sticking with it for 11 years. And just know that Tom and I, we just love connecting with our community. And shout out to everyone, Twitter, YouTubeverse, etc., Facebook. It's just been so fun to get to know people from literally all over the world and talking about comics and doing it on such a neat scale. So thank you guys for sticking with us and acknowledging, life happens sometimes. And Tom and I, we're really just riding those royalty checks at this point. I mean, we've done the hard work already. So we're at a place that we film when we want to.
That's true. That's true.
That's right. But thank you guys again for sticking with us. And just know that we will continue to represent South Dakota. I don't really see an end time for us. I'm excited to kick off this upcoming horror Marvel Comics project and having Tom kind of guest on there. That'll also be through the same channel, so more to come there. But yeah, with nothing else, though, I guess we'll shut it down. Thank you guys all for hanging with us. Excellent participation tonight. And we'll see you guys maybe next week. Tom, are you in next week? Are you in town?
Oh, yeah. Next week, baby. See you then.
All right. Well, we'll do it next week. You guys know the drill is always then when we shout an episode of a comic book look down, which P.S. Tom, we got to identify some issue numbers for these. We'll go ahead and say I am @John on Demand on all the socials. And Tom is @Tom Stu Divine. Collectively, we are a Comic Book Look. If you're tuning in through YouTube and want to connect with us on Facebook, we have a Comic Book Look Facebook group. Join us to continue the conversation. We'd love to have you. And we'll see you guys next week. So to end it off, you guys know the drill as always. What do? We keep it comics for sure, man. That's like the most adult way that I've said that. Usually I'm like really trashed at this point. I'm like, keep it comics, hat and shades and everything else. And here I am wearing glasses. I'm such a washout. God. All right, I'm going to end it. See you guys.